I'm building my dream screen printing and art studio in my basement, and today it's time to work on our workspace bench tops. These 3 boards, so top, middle, bottom, are ready to coat in polyurethane, but we do need to make a couple of other cuts on the other side. Our top piece here is all cut, lined up, and ready to go. So we're just gonna send it. We just need to trim just a little bit, maybe like half a foot off of this. Next board. Then I'm just gonna use this offcut piece instead of measuring, because I kind of hate measuring, and I know this will be a bit more accurate. Kind of hate this guide. It's so annoying to get lined up. Like, you really gotta pay attention, make sure it's square. I actually think we got it first try. As long as this lines up, little too much. See, like, it's just a hair offset. I'm gonna cut just a hair off, but it means readjusting the whole thing, and it's just a nightmare. Okay, it's finally lined up. If you have a better way to do this, it's probably gonna be too late by the time you post these videos, but either way, let us know in the comments, because I don't know what I'm doing. I'm learning, so let me know. Anyways, another board done. Okay, last cut, and then I need to go inside. It's hot out here. So one of the things I want to do before we coat these in polyurethane is paint the edges. We did this with our shelving that we've already thrown up on the wall. I think it turned out really cool, and I think if we do that to at least we're just going to do like the outside edge of each board. At worst case, we're just going to do kind of like the top boards. It'll kind of make kind of like a nice little subtle accent to everything, break up the OSB a little bit. So let's do that first before we coat in poly. We've literally, everything that's been this like color paint, we've done with this sample. That's all we've used. That's like our sign, our shelving, multiple coats of everything too. We'll see how far this gets us. Hopefully far enough. Depends on how many coats everything needs, but we're gonna prioritize the main top boards first. And I think all in all, this is gonna really make everything pop and look really cool. I'm just gonna do a bit of a rough paint. We'll come in and sand the tops, clean up everything. Luckily, all of these, we just need to do this front board since all the other like edges will be covered up. No, don't drip. Gosh dang. I know you can't see that. I just made a huge mess. These boards are our island boards. They're gonna be extended on both sides. So we're gonna paint both edges. And luckily, we can get rid of the ugly stock bright green edges. I don't know why they paint OSB like that. It's really annoying. Because I either have had to sand it off so you don't see it, cut it off, or paint it here. But it's definitely gonna need an extra coat because of it. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. It's annoying to me. Well, everything has 2 coats on it. It looks great. Now it's just time to sand the top, clean our mess up a little bit. I think we need a higher grit. And then we'll get this last one done really fast because I just think it's gonna thunderstorm. It came out of nowhere, so we gotta get this done. It's proper raining. We gotta shut the garage door. I was hoping to get a coat of poly on. We're just gonna have to wait. Guess it's time for a coffee break. The rain is done, our spray is loaded. It's time to coat. Wanna make sure we get the front coated as well. Time to reload. Okay, first coat done. All right, we're gonna give everything a quick sand, light sand with 220 grit. This is why you're not allowed to watch. 220 grit, just a light coat to even everything out. Time for coat number 2. While that is drying, we're gonna cut down some guide rails. We're gonna put this up on our plywood walls. They're gonna kind of help guide our workbenches into place. So some of these we just need to trim down just a little bit, about like a 3/4 of an inch. Make sure everything is straight and even. Easy as that. These 3 are done. So I spoke too soon. I didn't buy enough 1x2s. Can't remember what they are. So we're gonna have to go to Menards again. So that's great. Okay, it's time for a third coat. We're gonna do 3 coats on the lower panels, and then the top coats we're gonna do 1 more, so 4 coats total. I'm not in frame. And then we're gonna do a 4th coat on top for the top panels, since they're gonna get used more, so they're less prone to scuffs, scratches, things like that. That coat is dry. We're gonna hit it with 1 final coat just on our 3 top boards. This is the front panel of our workbench, and we are going to attempt to screen print some designs onto the front of it. This is normal acrylic paint, and we're just gonna try this out. This might go terribly. It's going decently well. We're going for kind of an all-over print, so we're just gonna kind of hit this a bunch of times. We're getting a little bit of splotchage, but we'll just go for that look, you know? It's a little grungy, but I think I like how this turned out so far. We're gonna go clean this up real fast. And then we're gonna do the same thing on our second front-facing piece, but with this big design. All right, let's see how this goes. Okay, it's subtle, but I like it. It's there, you know? I think I'm gonna just do a couple more offset half prints so it kind of has a similar vibe to our other panel. Cool, just like that, she's done. Cool. And that is it for our benchtop polyurethane. Now we need to cut our vertical panels that will go, they'll be kind of like dividers. They'll go vertically, and it should be a bunch of simple 19.5-inch cuts. Oh, we, you know, actually invested in some safety equipment, so, you know, now I won't be breathing sawdust. You also can't understand a single thing I'm saying anymore. These 4 boards are cut and sanded. Now it's time to do more. This is turning into a bigger project than I thought. I thought this would be pretty easy, but I kind of forgot we need to sand both sides since it'll be vertical. You'll see both sides. And we've got a decent amount of more boards to cut, so it's gonna take a while, and it's hot, and this thing is so sweaty, and my hands are like vibrating and twitchy from that sander, so it should be fun. Okay, we got to do a couple more cuts, but I think we can get everything out of this board. So that's a win, I guess, but more work to go than I thought. I kind of wanted to be done sanding and cutting, but here we are. Cool, we're gonna rip, or whatever. We're gonna cross cut these, I forget the term, so I don't have to deal with a rip cut, because that went terribly last time. So we're just gonna do 4 cuts at 19.5-inch panels, and we can cross cut these. Should be pretty simple. All right, third cut. These are the times where I really wish I had a table saw. But you make do with what you got. I can like barely reach the other side. That's half the reason I didn't want to do a rip cut, is because it's so hard to get all the way down here. It's the worst. Since it's a 19.5-inch height, they should be a little more even. If there's a little discrepancies in the cuts, which I can pretty much guarantee you there's going to be. All right, last cross cut. Perfect. There's now this spare piece, so I don't know what we'll do with this. We'll figure it out, I guess. So now each of these boards, I can just split right in half to have 2 2-foot boards, and that's our depth. So should be easy. I'm just gonna follow this green line and freehand it and hope it's not absolutely terrible. Pretty even too, I will say. You probably can't even hear a word I'm saying right now. I think this blade is losing its muster. I think we can salvage this though. Okay, this edge is a little rough. We can sand it out and I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna do a few cuts that are 16 inches deep, so that way when they're in the cabinet vertically, it's a little back set and offset. I think that'd be kind of cool look. I don't know. Hopefully, because we're gonna cut a bunch of boards like that. So all our boards cut, just time to sand. I was just about to say, I think that's all the boards that we need to sand, but we've got a couple more. It's time to coat. I'm trying to be a little gentler on the trigger so I can preserve as much poly as possible because we are running out. Okay. First coat's done. We're definitely gonna run out of poly. We're gonna need another gallon for sure. Got another gallon, but it was at least on sale this time. I'm trying to decide if I want 2 or 3 coats on everything. 3 coats is gonna use a lot of polyurethane, but I feel like 2 coats isn't gonna be quite enough. These side, like vertical panels, they're not gonna have a lot of contact, but they could get some scraping, some stuff, so I want it to be a little durable. We also have to coat both sides, so we could use up a lot of polyurethane. See, like just one fill of that, it used like a quarter. Okay, second coat is done. I think we're gonna stick with 2 coats on each side. That's still a lot of poly, and they shouldn't get too much contact. I think they'll be okay. So we gotta flip and start the other side. Flip them over, you realize like how much the coating does to the panels. I just realized we needed to sand the back sides. I'm not gonna show you that, so let's jump to when we're done. All right, time to coat again. We'll let that dry and then start assembling. It's been a day or two, judging how everything's looking. I think we're just gonna bite the bullet and coat everything at least one more time. I think one more time will be good. It's still very rough. I would hate to assemble everything and things aren't how we need them to be. They're not as durable as we need them to be, especially if, you know, we bump and rub crates and other storage items into these. So we're gonna sand these, get the rough spots out, and then do one more coat on each side. I know we have more 220 grit sandpaper. I can't find it anywhere. And I know this garage is a mess, but I still can't find it, and that's frustrating. We've got this one crazy little guy left, and I don't think this pad is gonna cut it. Just gonna give this like a real light sand, hardly any pressure. I don't really want to take anything off, but just get rid of the stragglers, you know? Once again, we spray. This feels a lot better, so we'll flip, sand, and spray. These pieces feel great, so let's load them down to the studio. So just like those boards, we're gonna do another coat on our flat bench tops too, especially because these will be getting even more work on them, scuffing, things like that. And I'd rather it be a little overkill, so we gotta load these back upstairs. Last one. It's time to sand again with 220 grit. This thing is also miserable in the heat, but you do what you gotta do. Ugh, I am like drenched in sweat in this thing. It's disgusting. Once again, I'm not gonna say for the last time, again, we are spraying. We almost went through another complete gallon of polyurethane. We're just cooking through this stuff, but you know what? It is what it is. These boards look and feel great, so it is time to once again move them downstairs. But we're at least ready to assemble. I think we'll still probably have a couple small spots to touch up, but I think we'll be able to just do that once it's all assembled with a little paintbrush. Just touch up a couple spots. I'm kind of done spraying anyways. We do need to clean all this up. I haven't seen the floor of my garage in like 3 weeks, and obviously haven't been able to park in it, so there's a lot of sawdust and polyurethane. Time to get cracking and clean this up. Okay, I'm gonna go take a shower. Bye.